Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading. Sunday, August 13th, today through Saturday, August 19th. And the only thing that I need to mention, I think, is the fact that Mercury retrograde began yesterday, the 12th, and the Lion's Gate portal, essentially closed yesterday, the 12th. Hopefully, anybody who was interested in doing so, connected with their higher self and their partner's higher self to the extent that they're able, and ask that if it be the universe's will, God's will, and that partner's higher self's will, to please join them in going through the portal. I absolutely did. I didn't want to risk it missing out on the opportunity to do that. I hope you guys got to it too. As far as spirituality, on the 15th is the feast day of the Assumption of Mary. It's the day that she was whisked directly up into heaven from earth without having to experience death. And I went over what was going on with the planets as far as astronomy. So we got astrology covered, we got spirituality covered, astronomy in detail on the general reading, as it always is. So with that, I'm going to the dice. There is a lot of stuff going on next week, though. One of which, as far as love is concerned, is the beginning of the month of Elul on the Hebrew calendar, which is a whole month long of love. So I'll talk about that next week. Going to the dice, beginning with stay in bed. Forget it. And cocktail. Email, which was one of these cards from the hashtag PP deck. I'm beginning with communication. And of course, I just mentioned Mercury retrograde started yesterday. Mercury is the communication planet. Stay in bed still. And cocktail as well, also back. All right, so with that, I'm going to go to my cross spread, beginning with the sun in Archangel Uriel. The sun represents the sign of Leo, or other fire sign, maybe Aries, Sagittarius. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. Actually, in the tarot, it primarily represents the sign of Sagittarius, but the sun, Earth's star, the sun, rules the planet, the zodiac sign Leo. Okay, and opening to the King of Earth, who's generous, professional, responsible, and practical. It may be a Virgo, because that's what Mercury is. Mercury retrograde in Virgo. It can also be a Capricorn, Taurus, or anybody taking on any of these attributes or, traits. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the King of Earth. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. You could be offered a job, especially with the King of Earth opposite the sun. You could be offered a job for which you never even applied. You never even thought about it. People are contacting you. They're calling you and, listen, there's an opening. Please come and join our organization. And you can feel safe doing so. You'll have to decide with the Two of Air. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. King of Earth. When into the Eight of Earth, skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and maybe even going back to school. This can be an offer that's made to you too that you should accept. Acceptance to, a college, a university, or some sort of program. Being offered a scholarship, all that kind of stuff. A grant to start your own business or something. King of Earth. And the Five of Air. Blech. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. This card showed up in the general too. It's to be expected that if I use the same deck, the same cards are going to show up. King of Earth back. And like one of my favorite cards in the deck, the Six of Earth, represents the planet Venus. See the justice, the scales of justice, which Venus rules the sign of Libra, and also Taurus, of course, and Earth. Gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debt. So very much like that Eight of Earth and King of Earth we've already been seeing. Somebody may offer you something of their own free will. Love, money, both. You know, out of pure generosity and kindness, not because they have an agenda. And I've come to the moon with Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Also came up in the general reading. The moon, well, our moon in the sky, rules over the sign of Cancer. And that can be what this card is here about. You know, any water sign or anybody taking on the attributes or traits of a water sign. But in the tarot, the moon represents the sign of Pisces. And the overall energy is another one of my favorites. It's another 6. Maybe that's why these are my favorites. 6 equals love, equality, justice, supreme math. 6, equals equality. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. So there was like rough waters, rough times. All of a sudden we've moved into a calmer space. We find ourselves more peaceful, more happy. And maybe even able to get away for a break. The feminine with relation to herself this week as it relates to love, strength. So maybe there have been some difficulties, some hurdles that she had to overcome. Maybe with relation to communication. That's what's coming to me first. And not being able to find that place from which to start, where it's just purely out of unconditional love and having the courage and the strength to make that call or send that text. But this week she does. And strength in any area that you need to, clear a block, free yourself of something that's going to help your love life to continue to ascend. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. You may have been beating yourself up and all kinds of beating up other people. Forgiveness and compassion instead should be exercised this week. The strength card represents the sign of Leo in the tarot. The masculine about the feminine this week as it relates to love. The 10 of air, very much so like our overall energy. They'd have some problems. He may feel like he backstabbed her or like she backstabbed him. The things weren't, they hurt each other. Hurt people hurt other people. I mean, that's just, the way that goes, unfortunately. It's an end of that. And where their relationship was maybe bordering on toxic and unhealthy, codependency, that's over too. It's the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change, right? Don't expect things to be bad. I remember last week I spoke about, in my own life, when that Venus card showed up and her back was turned. Was that last week or week before? Whatever. Her back was to the masculine, and I said I had done that in my life too, because I just had so much going on that was like this. There was 10 of air, that I just couldn't, I just didn't want to have to deal with anymore. And I just felt like, it was presumptuous of me, but at the same time, I felt like I had to do this. Like, if you can't come correct, don't come at all. And I didn't say that to him, but I put up a wall that said that. So I know how my energy was. It was not welcoming, because if he wasn't going to come to me the way that I wanted him to come to me in that moment, whatever that meant, there wasn't going to be additional drama, strife in my life, I didn't want to see him. This card tells us to release anything like that about one another, right? Release the harsh judgments. Expect things to be good. Like, don't expect. I had an expectation of negativity. I had expectation of drama. That wasn't fair to him. That wasn't fair to me. You know, it was an unwise choice. It was 5 of air, actually, for me to have done that. So I'm releasing all that. I have the courage. I have the strength to face whatever it is we have to face. All I was probably delaying the inevitable anyway. Whatever is meant to happen is still going to happen. And so this card guides us to just be positive, and not to have any sort of expectations out there, good, bad, or indifferent. Just be positive and go with the flow. Allow yourself to be amazed by the universe. It never ceases to amaze. The masculine with relation to himself this week, where the union is regarded. The Knight of Fire. Knight of Fire is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. The Knight of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. And he's very romantic. He's very romantic. Now, I have my feelings about all these knights. I'm potentially a Knight of Air myself. And we can be sort of random. And that can be good. It can be bad. It can be indifferent too. It depends what you're into. The Knight of Earth. Knight of Earth is a good man or a woman, a good person. But where Mercury, for example, rules both Gemini and Virgo, let's say. And so one would be a Knight of Air and one would be a Knight of Earth. Although they're both ruled by this same planet. One doesn't have the urgency of the other. Or Taurus and Libra, for example. One doesn't have the urgency of the other. The Knight of Earth, very good at what he does. And she does, always completes the task. But very, very slow and methodical. Because they're so methodical. They're paced. They take their time. They're not necessarily like go-getters like the Knight of Air. The Knight of Water is the knight, just super loving, caring, emotional. And when it's really awesome is when they don't necessarily have those emotions on their sleeves, although they have them, and they don't mind showing them, but they're not just walking around with them exposed all the time. And the Knight of Water is the one that will stand down below the tower and serenade you, and he's probably the most grand as it relates to love of all the knights, at least in my opinion. But the Knight of Fire, as far as being swept off your feet, like he's the romancer, in my opinion. He's the one that comes running in and picks you up and throws you on the back of his horse without even stopping it and saves the day. That's the Knight of Fire. So if this is what we have to look forward to out of the masculine this week, I say bring it on. The masculine as it relates to the union as a whole this week, as with regard to love. Oh, he's feeling lack. Maybe that's what causes him to go running off. He's feeling lack. He's afraid that what he'll reach is lack when he takes off too. Maybe he's afraid of being met with energy like I just discussed, that I know I've had and some of us have had, where it's unwelcoming. It's not, it lacks something that he needs. Fears surrounding money. The wisdom to accept help from others, so that's a positive. Uncertain self-employment. That's not what it means when I'm talking about love. It doesn't mean uncertain self-employment. It can mean fear surrounding money as it relates to love, though, because again, the Knight of Fire wants to romance you. I dated a Knight of Fire in one night. The night I met him, Took me to dinner, to drinks first, then to dinner. Then he bought me a dozen roses. You know, it was just boom, 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 all one night. And you know, I didn't know him from Adam prior to that. Just to give you an idea of what a night of fire is like. He was a Sagittarius. Overall, 4 of Earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. So we're being reserved, not just with money, as the card says, but again with love too. Overall, we're being a little reserved. So we're afraid of this. This is the feminine, and the masculine's afraid of this. We both have to loosen up. Good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate is also possible. The outcome. So no need to worry. It all works out in the end. I guess we do take advantage of this strength. Feminine, masculine, we reconsider, we think about, we realize who we are. We're the Knight of Fire. We can tackle this. Feminine, you know, we decide to be fair and equitable and give each other a chance. And the outcome is the Page of Fire. So I was talking about this. I said he was a Sagittarius. Page of Fire represents Sagittarius to me because it's the more youthful of the fire element. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous is the Page of Fire. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. What can the feminine do or surrender toward the union this week as it relates to love? 8 of Fire. Communicate, ladies. And when it's, you know, the time comes, like when you feel the calling, get moving. This is a card of movement. Fast pace. Go, go, go. Like the Knight of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace. Yes, delays are over. And many things are happening at once. So you may have been in a slump before. Things may not have been moving. Maybe you prevented them from moving. You did that. And now you can't stop it. It's just things are taking off. What can the masculine do as it relates to love this week in the union? To move it forward, renewal. So he can call you to join him before Archangel Jeremiah, before the universe, for this, like you're at a crossroad, and to address where you've been and where you're going. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Renewal, for me, represents the planet Pluto, which rules the sign of Scorpio. And it's all about death and rebirth as it relates to relationships. Again, it's a crossroad, and we got to decide where we're going from here, if anywhere. Is our relationship going to be reborn anew? Or, you know, are we going to allow it to die and not revive it? And what would the universe have the two of us to do or surrender toward the union this week? The world. Let go of the old to vacate the space for the new. That's what the world says. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude in the path toward enlightenment. Everybody get a good look at that. And I'm going to go on to the next spread. And for it, I'm going to go to the hashtag creepy deck, beginning with communication. And there will be another cross, but it'll be the other cross that I do. Opening to twin flame. It'll be the other placements, the one representing the divine couple and the masculine's higher self, and blocks to the union, and so on and so forth. So communication with your twin flame this week. Communication. Here's that brunette female. She's upside down. I'm going to turn her right side up. There are no reversals in this deck, but I just thought it was important to point out the fact that when I opened to her, she was upside down. Communication. Ice King, upright. Ice King for me represents the planet Mars, the signs of Leo, air signs, Aries, certainly. Communication. Karma. Very Jupiter card for me. It'll mean different things for different people, as karma does. Communication and, twin flame again, opposite the communication. On this note, I will stop. This will be my last shuffle here. And I'm going to cut. Blonde female. And the brunette female in reverse yet again. Nice. The overall energy is the Ice Queen. This is actually the card that I was talking about when I said, the back is turned and she just very closed off. But on a more positive note, I also see this card as Venus herself. And, Venus is the ruler of love and money. So when she shows up, it's a good thing too. The divine couple. The recent past. Blocks to the union. The outcome. The masculine's, higher self. The near future. What can the feminine do? What can the masculine do? And what is the advice from the universe? Divine couple represented this week by dark male. Well, he's solo. But of course, the dark male, those of you who watch me, the dark male comes through to me as the representation of the masculine, I guess because he's male, but it doesn't have to be, and of the light specifically. Dark male. So, twin flame, maybe. The recent past. Working on the relationship, working in general, trying to get up the financial abundance and the material wealth. The near future. The fair male. See how they're crossing one another? So we go back and forth between like the karmic and the quote unquote karmic and the divine partner. This is the more devilish energy for me, the way it comes out of the card. The masculine's higher self. Freedom is what he is seeking. In love. Maybe freedom from a toxic relationship. The universe just showed us we need to rid ourselves of something old. Freedom from this kind of energy. Blocks to the union. Dating. Maybe other people outside of it. Also, I'm getting not finding enough time to balance these two, the work and the dating. Like, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, Jill a dull girl. And that's been a block to some of these unions as well. For some, it's because you're dating this guy, karmic, or girl. This male, female, this represents the karmic energy that comes through. What can the feminine do? This week in love is about family. Maybe showing love and emotion in all of our relations, not just limiting it to a focus on romance. And what can the masculine do this week? Rid himself or the union of the separation. There's a way to bring it closer together. If you can't remove the actual physical distance, at least that communication can come through and in handy. And advice from the universe: go for what you know as far as the true love. Follow your heart, go within. That's what sets your heart free. That's what sets you free, is true love. That's what you're going to go after this week. And the outcome, whoa, gossip. Well, let's give them something to talk about, as they say. People are not going to like the coming together of the twin flame, the divine union, the true love that they witnessed this week. People are going to be jealous and talk about it. All right, let's get to the next spread. And it will be done with the, beginning with honeymoon in the romance angels. Opening to new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. New love. Why? Because you deserve it. You are lovable. New love. It's safe for you to have that love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. It's very 6 of earth. Safe for you to love. And one more. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Perhaps that's like what we were just shown. The dating was the block to the union, and it crossed the karmic guy. That, can be a codependent, toxic relationship, is a block to the union that's affecting your romantic life. But now, the overall energy is let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. For me, that's the angels. It can be for you too. Does not have to be. Maybe you have real 3D friends that can help you with this. Masculine. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. This can be an additional meaning for the feminine, what she can do this week with the family. It may have to do with coming together with the masculine and his children too. Some of us have to accept a stepmother role. I'm hearing too. Masculine, surrounded by. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive in the masculine's subconscious. Feminine, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Surrounded by, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Crowning. Finances and career. Maybe that's why work popped up before. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Also, again, why the 5 of earth showed up in the first spread, and the lack. That's what the masculine was feeling about the union overall, that there was a lack. And it can be an actual lack of finances. Like he wants to do, so much more. He wants to be that knight of fire, but he doesn't feel like he has enough of what he needs, the money to do. And speaking of that, lacking the money and everything, I heard twice this week, it may have even been 2 days in a row, that old Jennifer Lopez song, Love Don't Cost a Thing. So I think that's a message too. At the root, playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I'll include a link to that song. It basically says, long story short, even if you were broke, we could still do this because my love doesn't cost a thing. The heart of the matter. Soulmate. Boom. Yes. This is your soulmate. Yes. Do we have anything to clarify? I don't think so. Let's do advice. From the angels to the masculine, balance. So again, balancing work and home life, finding time to, love on each other and to make the donuts, as they say. Also inner balance, learning to accept ourselves, masculine, not worrying about shortcomings, especially where it relates to money. That's not what the feminine's concern is. We know you want to, be able to quote unquote take care of us and stuff like that. That's not where the feminine's concern is. It really is about love. So finding the balance even between the earthly and the more spiritual and emotional is key for you. Balance also represents the sign of Sagittarius, by the way. Balance in the traditional tarot is temperance, represents the sign of Sagittarius. So more Knight of Fire, maybe a Page of Fire with this. Feminine, the Eight of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. That card is about exactly what it sounds like. So as it relates to love, the love ascending, you desire for it to ascend. You desire for yourself to ascend. I want to keep going up, up, up. I want to continue to be lighter. And I want to continue to be, nearer and dearer to the universe. From the hashtag Creeper Deck to the masculine, past life. So that karmic energy that showed up, it was in the form of a male, the fair male. But, it can be a female. It can be whatever it is for you. It doesn't even have to be a person. It can be, an energy that manifests in another way. But it's a past life issue that continues to draw you back in and hold you back. So we got to work on releasing that. Feminine, short term. I think this is whatever was problematic, right? It's going away. We saw a lot of evidence of all of that stuff changing and positive, all of a sudden something's moving forward. It had been stuck for a long time. Only it's not much longer, right, to go before everything is just in our favor. That's what the short term is saying to me. And lastly, from the romance angels to the masculine, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. This card for me, all about like the law of attraction. You get what you give, you reap what you sow, and yeah, you put out that love, that's what's coming back to you. And to the feminine, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. But then again, we're throwing out those expectations. Feminine, remember that 10 of air? We're dumping them. We don't need the expectations. Your soulmate's going to be your soulmate. And, just love them for who they are, how they are, as you expect them to do for you. It's 50-50. It's 6 of Earth, right? Give and take without any kind of agenda. I hope that you guys enjoyed the weekly love reading. Namaste, angels.